Okay, today is the spring equinox. Um, so it is the festival, the Sabbath of Ostera, which is basically pre-Easter, predating Christianity's Easter. Today I am going to try to communicate with my grandfather, Meek Carter. He passed in May, not May, his funeral was in May of 2017. He died in April 2017. So I have already called my familiar, to be with me, in this session. I have lit my God and Goddess candle, and the incense for my goddess is rose, because Bast is associated with love, and I've lit an incense stick of frankincense because Anubis, of course, being associated with death, his incense is like strong smelling, smells like frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood. And for further protection, I have black obsidian and purple amethyst. Both are used against psychic attack. So I'm going to be using my pendulum I bought a couple days ago. It's green, and I'm sorry for the bad lighting. It's just the fact that I have the candles lit and I want to feel centered. And I have my new pendulum board. Yes, it looks like a Ouija board, but it's not. It's actually a little bit safer, from my opinion, for using it when it comes to communicating, because you can ask your familiar if you have an astral familiar, which a lot of times some people do. Well, it's actually 50-50. I have an astral familiar, which means it's not a physical familiar. Like in pet, it is in spirit form. Spirit. I had to go to the spirit world to get it. Well, technically, you can't own it. Like, you own an animal, you can't own an animal. So therefore, you can't own a familiar. Same thing. Okay, so I'm going to ask my familiar if it is okay to communicate. You do that out of respect and manners, because if the pendulum says no, then it is not a good idea to continue, for very good reasons that it does not want to give you at the current point. Okay, so I got my pendulum and my board. For those of you at home who are watching this, if it goes up and down in a vertical motion, that means yes. If it goes left to right in a horizontal motion, no. And then if it goes to diagonal left, rephrase, and then diagonal right, maybe. And then around the edges, I have A through C and 0 through 9. So I will begin. Is it okay to communicate with the spirit of my loved one? It has said rephrase. Is it okay to communicate with the spirit of my grandfather, Meek Carter? It is saying yes. So, Papa, are you safe? It says rephrase. Papa, are you either in a good place, like heaven, or in a bad place, as hell or purgatory? It said rephrase. Are you in paradise? It says yes. What is the afterlife like? This one I'll be spelling out the words. Whichever one has the strongest vibration to. Okay, so it starts spinning at good, at G. So G. Let's see if it continues. So the one it vibrated spun. I call it vibrate, but it spun was N. So I'm guessing, because I'm not as experienced with the pendulum board yet, it is good. Do you have any messages for me, Papa? It is swinging left to right a little bit. So that means no. Do you have any messages for anyone within the family? Do you have any messages for anyone in the family? Maybe. Do you have any messages for Uncle David, who did not attend your funeral? It is definitely swinging yes. So for this part, I will be turning off the camera because my uncle is not the most liked member of my family. So I will thank you all later.